Hi there, I'm Birgit O'Connor. Welcome to my studio. Today I thought it would be a lot of fun to show you how you can easily paint a little tree frog. We're going to keep this very simple, and if you'd like a line drawing, you can follow the link below, or just create your own little line drawing. And then basically what we're going to do is fill it full of water, then color, and allow the color to mingle, let it dry, and then come back in and add a little more color. Now, if you want, you can use your imagination and put the frog on a lily pad or add flowers around it, or maybe different flies or butterflies or dragonflies, whatever you can imagine. So it's really all about having fun and just seeing what you can create. So let's get started and do some painting. For this project, we're going to be doing a little tree frog, and what I really like is that we're going to use our pencil line as our boundary and apply a bubble of water on the inside. And then we'll let the color mingle and see where in the world it wants to go. So how I'm going to approach this is that I'm going to put water on the inside, then add my color up to the pencil line and let it move into the water on the surface. Dip into my water, remove a little bit of that, and then I'm going to basically touch the surface. I'm not pressing too hard, otherwise I'm lifting the water off the surface. I want to release the water. I'm going to go around the eye just a little bit. If you really want to look at it, you can go ahead and tilt it so you can see. And I'm going to drop in a little more water. Do I like that color? And I really don't want to think about this too much because that's going to dry faster than I can work if I do that. So a tree frog's going to be a bright green. Oh, I'm going to dip into my yellow just a little bit. Okay, then I'm going to take my color. You can see I don't have a lot of water there. Then I'm going to go along the pencil line. And if it's flooding and having too much color in there, I can always use a smaller brush along the pencil line like this. Even if I go outside the lines, I think that'll be fine. Now, this is also student grade paper, so it reacts slightly different than professional grade paper. I'm going to go along the arms, and now I think this brush is becoming too big. The difference with this is that we're not necessarily trying to make a perfect frog or like a scientific rendering. What we're doing is just playing with the amount of water and color on the surface. And here what I want to do is just touch a few of these little areas along the pencil line. So I can find the outline of my frog. A lot of water there. Okay, I'm just going to lift a little bit of that out. Then I'm going to go along the edge, find the toes. Maybe bring this down a little bit more. It's just a lot of fun to do. And for the toes, if you notice, again, see how much water I have in here. Hopefully I can do this without making it go across the page. And I don't mind if it's going to create some little blooms and blossoms. That means where this area is drying faster than that area. I think that'll be nice. Now, if I really wanted this to stand out a bit, I might even take a red or a magenta, nothing too much, just a tiny bit, if you can see that. Just a little bit. This is a magenta. I don't want to mix it. I want it to mingle on its own directly on the surface. I think that might make it very interesting. Hopefully I won't overdo this. This is creating a little bloom up here. I think that'll be interesting. What if I took this? If I used a number 8 brush right now, I'm going to have a tendency to be more detailed. Let's get some of this color. Oh, there's a little leg back there. That area is drying, so I have a little line like that. I think I'll go around the eye, bring that in here. Just get a little more color in there while I can. Or if you need to, you could always take your brush and bring the color closer down to the edge of the pencil line. And maybe I need a little more color in the foot. It's going to be underneath our frog. It's underneath his body. Just a tiny bit to make it more interesting. Now it's really wet, so it's a little challenging to do something with it right now. I'm going to take a little bit of the red, put a little sweep of color right there. You can see the little puddles of water there. Now go ahead and put your brush down for a minute and step away for a second until this dulls down a bit more. Otherwise, everything's going to run together. Or you could use a hairdryer and speed up the process. Now he's still a little wet in some areas, but now this area is pretty dry, so I should be able to come in with my yellow. I don't want it to have a lot of water in here. I want it to be a little drier, so I'm making sure there isn't a puddle of water with that, just a little bit drier. I just want it to be a little bit drier, and then I'm going to go around his eye. Let's see, his leg's going to be about here. Get a little color up here. And I think I'm going to go around his ear. There we go, a little more color. And I'm actually going to lift and tilt my paper a little bit to let that color run and mingle. Go right up to that pencil line, go around his ear. Now he's still a little wet, but if I touch this area right here, it feels really dry to me. So to put the pupil in, I could do a couple things. I could either use a little brush like this, or I could use a permanent Sharpie marker. If you're afraid that the color may run, you may want to use the marker. But I think I'm going to use the little brush and choose a very dark color, like a black, and remove the extra water, and hopefully it's not going to run. And I'm going to get his eye in. Just like that. And what I could do is use a little bit of that dark color. I don't want to overwhelm anything. If I took that color, put a little bit over on the side, maybe have it in a lighter value. If you notice, this is very dark, this is lighter. Maybe mix that in so we have something in between. I'll go around the outside of his eye so it stands out a bit more. And then maybe what I'll do is just soften one side of that so it doesn't stand out too much. So now what I'm doing is adding just a few little details. I'll take that mingled color with this smaller brush. Maybe I'll come in right underneath here. And let's see, where else do I want to add maybe some, I'm going to go right down here. I think I might want it to be a little lighter through here. So I'm lifting some of the color out. I'm just gently going over my color and wiping off the extra water. I'm going to get a little more color through here, up by that line. I'm going to make a little shadow. So I'm taking a little blue and bringing it into my color here so it becomes a bit more neutral. I'm basically mixing all this up, and this is what we can call palette mud. Then I'm going to come in on dry paper, right along that pencil line, underneath the stomach, and hopefully that's all dry. I might even consider going over this. That way it goes back underneath our little frog. I don't want to make everything dark. Just want to give him a little shadow. I want it all gone. I want this to be damp, not wet. Then I'm going to soften this edge, and I'm twisting my brush just to give it a very soft line. Maybe a little shadow underneath here. And since I have a shadow there, I have to think about, do I need shadows anywhere else? Or if I felt brave, maybe what I'll do is take a little color, hold my brush higher up the handle like that, and maybe tap a little bit of color here and there. And if I don't like it, I can easily come back in and lift a little bit of that color out just by touching it. Now to give him a little more personality, let's add a little white on his eye and call him done. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you allowed your imagination to run wild. And until next time, have fun and happy painting.